Now we have to study types of chemical reaction part 3. Now next types of chemical reaction are exothermic and endothermic. They are opposite reaction. Exo means to give out and endo means to absorb. So what is exothermic reaction? A reaction in which heat is given out. And endothermic reaction, the reaction in which heat is absorbed. If we observe the temperature, when there is exothermic reaction, temperature of solution increases. And whenever there is an endothermic reaction, temperature of the solution decreases. So it will be clear by taking example. Respiration is exothermic and photosynthesis is endothermic reaction. So in the respiration reaction C, here we have C6H12O6, it is glucose. So glucose reacts with oxygen to give carbon dioxide, water and energy. In this reaction energy is given out. So it is exothermic reaction. And if we take the photosynthesis, 6CO2 plus 6H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll pigment, plants prepare their own food in the form of the glucose C6H12O6 and oxygen gas is given out. In this reaction energy is needed. It is a type of reaction that is the endothermic reaction. So respiration is exothermic and photosynthesis are endothermic. Both are opposite reaction. If we take the one more example, calcium oxide. When calcium oxide is diluted means water is added, then it forms the calcium hydroxide and in this reaction energy is given out. As energy is given out, temperature of solution increases. So in this reaction energy is given out, it is exothermic reaction. But if we heat the calcium carbonate, we have already seen this reaction. It is a decomposition, thermal decomposition reaction. When calcium carbonate is heated, it splitted into the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. So here energy is absorbed, energy is needed. So it is an example of endothermic reaction. So all combination reaction, all burning reactions are what? Exothermic reaction, and all decomposition reaction like thermal decomposition or photolytic decomposition reaction, in this reaction energy is needed, that all reactions are endothermic reactions. Next we have to study next type of reaction, that is the oxidation and reduction reaction. Now see, oxidation and reduction reactions are studied on the basis of three types: on the basis of oxygen, on the basis of hydrogen and on the basis of electrons. So what is oxidation? Oxidation is the reaction in which reactant gains oxygen. When oxygen is added to the reactant, then it is oxidation. But what is reduction? If in the reaction reactant gains hydrogen, if hydrogen is added, then it is a reduction reaction. So here we have simple example: copper react with oxygen to give copper oxide. Oxygen is added to copper to form copper oxide. So it is oxidation. Here we have one example. So this is CH2 double bond CH2. It is called as ethene. You will study it in detail in the lesson carbon. Now here we have CH2 double bond CH2. Here we have ethene. When it react with H2, then it forms CH3 single bond CH3. It is called as ethane. So hydrogen is added. So addition of hydrogen is called as the reduction. Now oxidation is also studied in the form of the hydrogen. When reactant loses hydrogen, then it is also called as oxidation. Adding of oxygen, oxidation, but removal of hydrogen is also oxidation. Adding of hydrogen is reduction, but removal of oxygen is also reduction. So oxidation is also studied in the form of the electron. When substance loses its electron, then it is also called as oxidation. And when substance gains electron, then it is also called as reduction. It is quite confusing, but if you study it in detail, it will be cleared. Now see, here we have simple example. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to give magnesium oxide. Now you will see that magnesium is getting oxidized because magnesium gains oxygen and magnesium is getting oxidized. If magnesium is getting oxidized, who is getting reduced? Now see here, we know magnesium atomic number 12, electronic configuration is 282. Oxygen, atomic number 8. Electronic configuration is 2,6. Now in this reaction, magnesium is getting oxidized. At the same time, oxygen is also getting reduced. How? We can study these on the basis of electrons. If we study magnesium, its configuration is 282. It has 2 electrons in the outermost shell. So here we have seen magnesium, 2 electrons from the outermost shell, and here we have oxygen, 6 electrons in the outermost shell. Then oxygen needed 2 electrons. So magnesium donates it 2 electron to the oxygen. So magnesium donates 2 electron, and that donated 2 electrons are received by the oxygen. So the reactant which donates the electron, it is getting oxidized, and the reactant which takes the electron, it is getting reduced. So in this reaction you can say magnesium is getting oxidized, at the same time oxygen is getting reduced. It is studied on the basis of the give and take of electron. Substance which gives electron, it getting oxidized, but substance which receive electron, it getting reduced. You have to study this topic in detail, then it will become clear. Okay, now we have to study next reaction, that is redox reaction. Now redox means what? Re means for the reduction, red means for the reduction, and ox means oxidation. The reaction in which both reaction takes place, oxidation takes place and reduction takes place. So the reaction in which oxidation and reduction both takes place, that reaction is called as the redox reaction. Means in one reaction you will observe oxidation as well as you will observe reduction. Here we have simple example. Here we have ZNO, means what? Zinc oxide reacts with C. C means carbon. Now if you observe the products are Zn plus CO. Here in this reaction, now see, ZNO get converted into Zn, means oxygen is removed, and we know that removal of oxygen is getting removed. Removal of oxygen is called as reduction. And here if we observe carbon get converted into CO, carbon monoxide. Carbon is getting oxygen. So addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. Carbon is getting oxygen, so it is oxidation. So here we have reduction as well as oxidation. Why it is reduction? Because removal of oxygen. And why it is oxidation? Because addition of oxygen. So oxidation, reduction both takes simultaneously. So this reaction is called as the redox reaction. If we take one more example of this reaction, here we have one more example of the oxidation reduction reaction. CuO, copper oxide, reacts with hydrogen to give copper plus water. Now see, CuO get converted into Cu. Oxygen is getting removed. As oxygen is getting removed, it is reduction. And H2 get converted into H2O. Hydrogen is gaining oxygen. So hydrogen get converted into water by the addition of oxygen. So it is oxidation reaction. Now third example, it is most important reaction. Here we have MnO2. Mn, it's not Mg. That is a common mistake done by the student. It is Mn. Mn means manganese. MnO2, manganese dioxide, reacts with HCl, hydrochloric acid. It get converted into MnCl2, manganese chloride plus water plus Cl2. Now here we have manganese dioxide, and from manganese dioxide we get MnCl2, manganese chloride. Now here oxygen is removed. Oxygen is removed means it is reduction. And here we have HCl. HCl is getting converted into H2O, means oxygen is added, so it is oxidation. So oxidation reduction takes place simultaneously, so it is redox reaction. Now we have to study some day-to-day examples of the oxidation. So we have two examples of day-to-day life oxidation. One is corrosion and one is called as the rancidity. So corrosion topic is so simple. We know when metals like iron, copper, silver come in contact with the air, means oxygen or moisture, then they develop a layer. Iron always, when iron reacts with oxygen in the atmosphere, iron develop a brownish or reddish color layer of the iron oxide. When copper comes in contact with the oxygen gas, then it will develop greenish layer, that is the copper oxide. Sometimes copper also develop a blackish color layer of the copper hydroxide. And silver comes in contact with the gas hydrogen sulfide and it develops a black color coating of the silver sulfide. So when a layer of these substances are formed on the metals like iron, copper, silver, they develop a layer of brown color or green color or black color due to the contact with the air and moisture. Then we say that the process of the corrosion is started, and this layer of the iron oxide, it is called as the rust. So the due to the formation of the rust, or due to the formation of the various layer on the metal surface, what happen, the actual metal starts to getting corrode, or it weakens the metal article. So if we want to prevent the corrosion, what can we do? For the iron article, we give the paint. So painting, electroplating, there are various methods to prevent the corrosion. So corrosion is the process in which metal get corroded due to the contact in air and moisture and to develop a rust on the surface of the metal. Now we have to study second example of the oxidation, day-to-day life oxidation, that is the rancidity. The question, the rancidity topic is always asked for the exam. Now what is rancidity? Rancidity takes place in case of the fats and vegetable oil, the oil that we eat. If that oil is kept for a longer time, then that oil comes in contact with air and then we can say that oil become rancid. Rancid means it has very bad taste, bad smell. The oil which is kept for a longer time, it develop very bad taste, bad smell, and if we cook the food in such a type of oil, that food become poisonous, and it gives out the what unpleasant smell, unpleasant taste, and that oil become rancid. So the process in which the edible oil get converted into inedible, that process is called as the rancidity. So it happens due to the contact with the oxidation. Slowly oxidation takes place and edible oil becomes inedible. That process is called as the rancidity. If we boil such a oil, then it starts frothing up. If we have milk due to some microorganism, it starts frothing up it if it is kept for the more time. Similarly, oil also starts to frothing up when it is boiled. So cooking food in such a type of oil is poisonous. So how can we prevent the rancidity? There are different ways of prevention of the rancidities. So what are the ways of the prevention of the rancidity? That is keeping in the airtight container. When we keep it in food stuff into the airtight container, air is not allowed to enter into the airtight container and food can be preserved, but not for forever, it is for some time. Or when we eat the chips and kurkures, the packets are filled with the air, but that is not air, that is the nitrogen gas. So to prevent the rancidity, that packets of the chips and kurkures are flushed with the nitrogen. And in some foodstuff, antioxidants are used to preserve the foodstuff for the longer time. So these are the three ways of the prevention of the rancidity. So rancidity means conversion of edible foodstuff into inedible due to the contact in the oxygen. Thank you.